So I'm so excited about this talk today, ladies, because first of all, we're going to talk about fireproof women. And I was sharing this yesterday. If you even think about the idea in your head that says fireproof women, imagine we've all seen a fire person, right? I used to say fireman, it's fire person now. And I love fire shows on television. Just Chicago Fire and things like that, because they wear this garb, right? And it protects them. They literally can walk through fire. And that is such an amazing vision for me, is that we as women have put on or can put on this fireproof suit that lets us walk through fire. Right now, a lot of us are walking through the fire and getting burned a little bit. So I really want to thank Anaiis for showing up today, because she's just like a lot of these women that we've shared through this process that started out very young with a almost fatal illness. And it's so interesting how we have allowed our stress to create these diseases for us. And she's come through it. And so when she talked to me the first time and she used the phrase first wave of fireproof women, I thought, oh my gosh, that's what we are. That's what we are in these few generations that we have on the planet right now. And she also talked about, which I thought it was kind of an interesting, I don't know, I feel like I want to write a book about it, the clairs, the clairvoyance and the clair audio. And so she'll share about that a little bit, but I really love, this is my new languaging, is to start talking to women about their clairs, right? You've got all these clairs in your life. And instead of talking about all the Karens, let's start talking about the clairs and start learning to trust these gifts that we have, these feminine energy gifts of intuition, connection, communication, and let that analyzing, that sorting process, which is the very masculine energy, talked about it for the last 2 days, but really begin to tap into these feminine geniuses, but also trusting them. Because just because you say, I'm going to try to be more intuitive, or I'm going to try to be more communicative or connective, if you don't trust that in yourself, then you're still finding that stuckness. So she's used art as a place to connect with your inner self. She's going to share about that. She loves sharing with women that their birthright is bliss. Oh my gosh, if I could just communicate that to every woman on the planet, that is your birthright, to be in bliss, to actually just live in ultimate juicy joy. Is we don't do that enough. And she's an ordained minister, certified EMT, hypnotherapist, art author, but she's also talks about some of the things that we shared over this past few days, and that is this radical responsibility. It's about really tapping into what is your authentic self, but then how do you radically stand in that truth? And that is what is so key to me, is that women that are living this, we're not just talking about it. And just because she's been on panels with Deepak Chopra and Dean Ornish and the Dalai Lama's physician, she's here with us today to be a guiding spirit, to be an inspiration, to be something that you can take on a soul level, but also in a practical way, and begin to experience all of this bliss and joy in your life. So with that, Anaiis, I want you to take over, and I'm going to let you have the whole screen to yourself. Now, you need to unmute, babe.
Yeah, this is where the tech takes over. Like, it's deciding when and how we speak.
Okay.
Okay. Hopefully you can hear me now, because you're about to hear me full blast as a fireproof woman. And I hope you're all wearing your protective clothing, or you want to learn how to have it.
Yes.
Okay. That's long, but I hope it was worth it. Okay. We're done. I'm going to
That was awesome.
Oh my gosh. Thank you for listening.
Awesome. Yay. Oh my goodness. First of all, there was just so much in there that I kind of want to, I mean, everybody can have a little minute to ask questions. We have time. But I love one of the first slides about energetic coherence.
Yeah.
I think honestly, coherence it's been used a lot lately. I almost want to put it into the buzzword category, but it is so critical to really begin. And once again, another buzzword, align yourself. Because,
Yeah.
when we're not in coherence with our chakras, with our heart with our brain, and all of this energetic movement, we are going to be out of balance somewhere. And that causes all of those challenges. But your slide of your energy vortexes, that's what I'm calling them. That's
Okay.
one right after that. Oh my gosh, I don't even know what that is. And I was wanting to jump onto the screen just because I don't, maybe you could share about what that was exactly. That, you know what I'm talking about, that slide where it's almost like a body, but it's got all these energy points in it, because that is what is so important for women to understand, is that we're not just from the neck up. We have so much energy flowing through our bodies. As you said, you're an energy worker. So just to know that, to ask a question, what if I could heal myself? What if
Absolutely.
I could be rich? What if I could have the partner that I, dream of? What if I could have the house? It is such a beautiful question, much like Carissa's say to the universe, how have you blown my mind today? These are such great questions, but we don't get into the questions. We say why, right? And I think that's so beautiful, the what if question. I just encourage everybody on this call to start asking that what if, and fill in the magicalness of your life, what you would like to see. That is just so beautiful.
Okay.
And yeah.
Thank you, Debbie. I can't thank you enough for inviting me and for doing what you're doing as a fireproof woman, and for all your Claires.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
a movement. We just have to put the community together, and this is the beginning.
Yeah. Yeah. It's fabulous. So do you ladies, and raise your hand if you'd like to ask a question, because we have this beautiful source of energy here that has been doing this for so long and been through so much. And I really I'm blown away by there was a lot. It was like, oh my God, this is so much, so good. Just even the word, saying that intuition is too small of a word, because it truly is. We are not paying attention to these powerful geniuses that we all have, that can blow our world into something we can't even hardly imagine at this point. I think it's so beautiful, the work that you're doing. And of course, I did a thing with kaleidoscopes yesterday, because kaleidoscopes, I think they're really magical. I don't think we got them as a little kid, and now we're grown up and we don't pay attention to them. But the fact is that they have some real serious magic in them.
They do. They absolutely do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I put some links in the chat, and hopefully they'll be useful to you.
Yeah.
I hope so, but I'm very happy to take on any questions if anybody has any. But you're going to be asking the questions yourself. Queen Mother, hi, honey.
Boy, mother.
So I don't have a question. However, I have a big hug for you. And I almost got stuck emotionally in the beginning when you were talking about traveling around the world, going over to, I think, Russia, and doing this healing work in the hospitals.
Mm-hmm.
Anaiis, this is what is needed. This is what is needed. Never mind just the medication, the bags of liquid that are flowing. I mean, I'm not gonna, say bad things about that, whatever works for people. However, what you were doing and what you brought is what our ancient ancestors, indigenous, that's the way it was done. And so that inspired me and moved me so much. Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. I have radical gratitude for that because it was a tiny little whisper that got me there. It wasn't a big, grandiose idea or talking about being in alignment. It was a tiny little whisper from right here. And I agree with you, Mother, that it comes from our DNA. It's from our ancestors. We have to grab this now while we can and put it to use. Thank you, Mama.
Thank you. That was, that was very moving just hearing that story, because to go into a place with so much disease and illness and just to stand in your power and to bring that healing energy, that's really remarkable. And just thank you so much for doing that. But also, I also want to acknowledge that they asked you to do that they were open to letting you in. I mean, doesn't feel very Western to me. I don't know if our medical community would even consider that, but that was pretty cool.
Let me share with you, because as I was on the plane and we were coming in for our landing, my inner guides said, ask for permission from the land, from the people, from everyone in this situation. Ask for their blessing and grace to greet you so that we can co-create what you're here to co-create. And I did as the plane was coming in for landing. And when I got off the plane and got settled, I did everything but kiss the ground. I did do that in Egypt. I got on the ground and kissed the ground.
Yeah.
It's understanding the gigantic energy field that we live in. It's not these black cube tech things that think they're connecting us. What a load of boop-de-boop-de-boop. Okay, Debbie, that was great. Thanks for letting me spin some more.
I'd love to ask a question.
Go ahead, Kate.
Oh my goodness, Anaiis, you are an utter miracle, absolute miracle. Well, who you are, but who you're being is extraordinary. So thank you very much. I really love listening, and I was out of integrity because I wasn't on the screen for you the whole time, but I was listening, and you've done profound work. That's extraordinary. Thank you so much for representing women as you do. So I'm actually in the world of AI, education and AI. So tell me, give me your whole lens. I'd love to hear your whole lens on artificial intelligence. Who is it? What is it up to?
Okay, you asked me.
I did.
That's right, she did.
That second I did it. Bring it on, Mama.
When you are in your authentic space as a fireproof woman and a human being, you don't need artificial intelligence because your creativity will find the words that you need to express you. This is my deepest concern about AI, and it will show itself in a year, maybe a little less, maybe more, is that everyone who is aspiring to be a coach, who is following the mind chatter, will give their power away and their words away so that we all end up sounding like each other. There will be no distinguishing originality. This is why I put on everything that goes out to the public my name and my copyright. Because it's going to be a way to eliminate intellectual property. It already is. So, Kate, this may be why you're here, to consider this, not today, but over time. And when you're sharing with people, because AI, I never use it, I really don't. It has value because we're building a bridge. And I don't want to leave behind the people who are showing up at 2 seconds to midnight, who are doing their best to create a bridge. And they are going to have to use AI to make sure that they get a security pass to get out of here when the time comes, because at least they will have tried to build the bridge. I hope that's a balanced view.
Yeah, so I work with the Montessori society. So where Montessori is hands-on pedagogy, it's real world first. So that's my work, is to bring the conversation, condense it into, holding your heart, condense it into our hearts. So we're going hard over physical reality. Hard, like, we are the gatekeepers to physical reality. That's what we say.
I'm also a certified Montessori educator.
Oh my goodness. Oh, I love you more. Oh my goodness. Yeah, but it's just like that. It's kind of, if we, and you're being fireproof women as Montessori elders, that's my thing. That's my jam. If you go onto Montessori elders on Facebook, that's me.
All right, let's chat. Let's you and I chat, because
yes, it's shocking, but that's it. That I hear you in terms of that fireproofness, and I want it for the thousands and thousands of Montessori teachers who are in their hearts but not in their power. So yeah,
let me train them in knowledge of the energy field and teach that to them, because the little children I taught, kindergarten and under,
oh my goodness,
they
that's
need
the hardest.
They need to have that cherished. And if we can teach them, this is your nose, these are your eyes, these are your fingers, we can teach them, this is your throat chakra, this is your crown chakra, this is your heart chakra.
Absolutely.
Okay, let's do that.
We'll do it. Let's do it.
That's awesome. Thanks, Kate.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you.
Okay, Adina, you can unmute yourself.
Hi, good, I guess, morning, everyone. I'm on my bike. So
Yeah,
I'm just in
she's
transit.
usually running around, so.
Yeah, so good morning, everyone. And thank you, Miss Anaiis, for your presentation and your transparency. I know it's probably taken a while for you to come to a point, a safe point within yourself where you're able to share some very intimate details about your life. And so I wanted to know about the mother wound, and how do you know when you're really clear of that? How do you know when it's not an issue anymore, or if it shows its head because you're communing with her until she passes away, or even after she passes away, your mother will always be with you in the state of a living or past ancestor. So how do you know when that line, whether it's the grandmother, mother, the trauma, drama, whatever, has been cleared? How do you know?
Take a breath. Take a breath. How you know is when you can absolutely let them go with no guilt. When you can stop talking to them if you need to, because they can't stop holding you back or diminishing you. When they can't stop asking you to self-sacrifice because they're not open to their best solutions. It's a very wide world we live in. And this is not abandonment. That is how you know.
Thank you. And
then,
thank you.
When you can come back, only when it's right for you. And if they've passed on, you can come back through heart connection, in spirit. Every one of us can do this. That's a very powerful question, Adina. Thank you for asking that. I've been in that situation for a year where I stopped talking to my mother. I stopped going to see her because she had pegged me as, I'll make you special all your life. And then when I'm old and decrepit, even though you have another brother and a sister, you'll be the one who will come and share your life force with me. I can't tell you how many times I rescued her once where she passed out in a restaurant. And I got in the ambulance with her and put my hands on her and changed her dynamics to keep her alive and then get her out of the hospital. I've done that more than once. I'm not doing it again. This is when you know that you're free. And it doesn't mean I don't love her. We have to understand what love really is and what it is not. If you have a jealous mother and you are still in those dynamics, you have yet to experience unconditional love. And I wish for all of you that you experience this before you close your eyes.
Thank you so much. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Not easy.
I think it's very interesting that this mother conversation has been a thread through the whole 3 days. So when something is palpable like that, that does show up and seed an experience, it's not by accident that there is energy around all of that. So I invite all the women, and this is, you'll have the recording of this. So whoever hears this from now until whenever, that I invite every woman that hears this to explore, to be curious, to ask those questions, what if, and then ask that question from your own perspective, because it really truly is such a vital, and we talked about that with Ashley with the mother monologues. It's such a vital relationship, yet it has so much energy surrounding it. And when we do not look at it and, as I said, be curious about it and ask the questions, we are destined to repeat any patterns that have been passed on, number one, but number two, that are the unhealthy result of that. So I just really am grateful that it just has been showing up in all of these really.
It's showing up for a reason. It's showing up for a reason right now, because we have to clear this.
Absolutely. Yeah.
We're not going to move our species forward if we don't clear this. And it's really hard to do. I would love for you to come and do it with me in my 8-week program. I'm very thorough, I promise. But this is the time. And we've been working through, we've been all living in a system of separation for eons. And this system is being dismantled.
Yeah.
Level by level, field by field, atomic biology, chemical biology. It is being dismantled. And as Fireproof Women, you know that song, We Didn't Start the Fire, right? Okay. It's our opportunity to actually bring some breath of unconditional love into this world as the crap falls down. Okay, I'm blunt, I know, but there it is.
I think they appreciate that. That's why I'm going to say that. I think also one of the things that Ashley spoke about, and you spoke about in your slides, is how we project how other people are relating to us, whether it's our mother or somebody else, and to really begin to dismantle that within ourselves, to let that shit go. Because the more we hold on to so-and-so thinks this of me, which frankly, we never know what that truth is anyways, because you're not in anyone else's head. I always find that fascinating. So-and-so thought this or believed that. And I'm like, okay, were you in their brain? But that is so critical to get to that stage where we are then releasing that. And that was one of those powerful points on your PowerPoint.
But why do we need to release it? And I will tell you this, because when you have all the clairs, when you have all the clairs, I wasn't even a teenager yet when I was reading my mother's mind and freaking her out because I got it right. And I reflected it back to her. I was proving to her that there was flowered wallpaper underneath the paint in her room. And she said, you can't see that. And I took, while she was in the kitchen, I took a paring knife and scraped away the paint so she could see it. Do not mess with me. You have to ask why. That sometimes why is an important question. But the mother thing, and really the discernment, is when your body is in the resonance of truth, it will show you this is projection, this is assumption. You hear this quiet space? Sit in the quiet space and ask. If it matters to you, ask. And then listen, I'm about to do that today with one of my coaches who made he did a little faux pas the other day. And I'm like, oh, I'm waiting till after I do this talk to call him and do that conversation. Right? Because rather than carrying that and having continue to carry an assumption, I don't do that anymore. I ask, I communicate.
So just do me a favor, because it's in the chat and I'm saving the chats, but also all of your information for signing up for your program, for how to get a connection with you, how to, make a connection with you. And as you said, if you know anybody that is on this path that would benefit from these teachings, these healings, then share that information with them. So put that in the Facebook group as well, Anaiis.
I will.
And I'm going to ask one more time if you have any other questions for Anaiis, because she's remarkable and you can go find her later. But if you have something that's burning and pressing right now would be a time to ask that.
Thank
The
you.
question, what if?
Yeah, I gave you two of the most powerful questions. So
Yeah.
if you can't come work with me, which I strongly suggest that you do, you can do a lot with those two questions if you know the basics of your energy field beyond the 7 chakra embodied system.